Hi guys, it's 2026 and the show left. Happy New Year before Sahau. But before all that, just trust with me. So today I wanted to go for a mobile look. The red actually shows it. And the fact that my favorite color ya mama lazima ni even. A black shirt complements my look, and let's not forget black zipper hoodie. And last but not least, definitely my era topper. A moment of silence for the look. Nimeiva ama nadanganya guys. Usijaribu kukwambia kama unaona otherwise. Guess what, your opinion does not matter. Enda uze uji. Now of course usitumia mtupu and then the black jacquard with a touch of red, and wow, some billion to spice up my set. Msichana lazima nikie vizuri. Ama I'm ready sasa twende shule. For my first day lazima ningefika mapema. New Year's resolution. Ama wanasema New Year, better me, chiki dembe nyamiva. Bye. People see me out like this, hair out, no nails, no lashes, they be like, yes, beautiful, natural, queen, natural African black sister. I'm not all that. I'm just broke right now, okay? People day 3,758, or I'm doing my hair on my own because I chose to live in Japan. A few people ask me, Ina, where do you do your hair in Japan? And to be honest with you, there are a lot of hair salons around me. However, my hair is a little too exotic for the average salon here to deliver. Walking into a random salon would be like a dive into the unknown, more for the hairdresser than for myself. I also do not do any chemical straightening to my hair, which is an option that an average salon would go for because it's the easy way. Few salons or individuals available that could actually do something nice with my type of hair are a little too expensive. To be honest, a little too close.
So we are live on YouTube. So sorry about whatever was happening on TikTok. So there was no sound. Yeah, so you can just tune on. So we are streaming live on YouTube. So if you have the access to my channel, so Lucy Trades on YouTube, so you can see the whole layout properly. Yeah, so the studio was not functioning. I mean, I don't know what was wrong with the sound. Yeah, so I thought I was audible, but then it's like no one could hear me. So what I was trying to say is that we had this first presented fair value gap, and we had certain relatively equal highs here that I marked. So these relatively equal highs, once we took it out, yeah, so price created this first presented fair value gap. So with this first presented fair value gap, if at all price is to continue higher, then I don't want to see it close anywhere below the consequent, anywhere below this consequent encroachment, or anywhere under this lower quadrant, okay? There's a lower segment of this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So there's a classification of a fair value gap. If it's supposed to hold price going higher, but then look at the order flow. I mean, what is price doing? Is it seeking sell side liquidity? I mean lower prices, yes. Then that's why I went short there inside that first presented fair value gap. Took half of the contract off there and then waited for this, take out the remaining contract. So that's a W chart. Let's wait and see if what price wants to do again. Yeah, so what is this price telling us again? So we're having this 5 minutes order block. We also had this 5 minutes fair value gap after taking out this low, that low that I highlighted there. So for a better experience, YouTube.
Yes, guys, ndio kuna nyingine mnaniingilia pale kwa comment. Na mwafisi kwa kudara bila nyashi ni kanzu. I know ni kanzu. Si ati sina. I have it done of figure. Ni vile sitaki kusnatch your boyfriend. Nikitoa idea nipite mbele ya boyfriend yako anakusahau. Anyway, guys, hii I should speed. Mtoto hapa 20 years lakini sahi ashajijenga, ashamake wazazi wake proud. Akiingia sahi kwa country anatigiza nchi. Ashaenda sasa kurudisha akili Kenya. Mimi message nimelala na lesson nimelala from high shop speed. I need 2026 nahitaji ujanja na courage ya Sifuna alafu iko white collar Mr. President. I love 2026 my God in heaven. I know I realized early on my demo account they didn't clarify so like my eyes in your na squeeze nasikia mkulize but tuambia tunapika toast mayai na bread mnakula mbona So yesterday I went to Makasi. I was there late. Ilibidi nilale pale. Sikuwa nimebeba charger and most of you are in my DM asking about house update. Of course singewaacha. Ilibidi niamke asubuhi niende nikatafuta charger. Morning. Una taxi bro? You don't? Morning. No, nataka unichaji hapa. You don't charge phone? I have to buy a charger.
So again, we are trading into this first presented fair value lookup. So if at all it's shifting higher, so this is simply the daily time frame. So we took out this low here, that's sell side liquidity, resting below this low, and right now we see what's happening. So the question is, does it want to trade higher, or is it deemed to continue lower? Now that we took out this buy side liquidity resting above these levels, so buy stops resting above this, so we flooded that level, introduced those orders into the marketplace, and then we are now driving it lower, taking out this sell side liquidity, and also there's a volume imbalance here, slight one. So on the 5 minutes, I can see we had that 5 minutes fair value gap, we trade above it, and also there is a 5 minutes order block. So that simply tells you that this price has no business huko chini. So because it has done this, we have the first presented fair value gap here. So if at all I miss any move here, I'm good with the benefit of time. If we can trade and close above this, then I'll still look for my a setup to go long, that is if it really wants to go higher. But then if it doesn't want to trade higher, then still this level can hold it, and then we might start seeing lower prices.
You see that? Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed, guys. I can money is so good. Money if I catch you. Imeweza. It is fully equipped. It is so nice. Alafu pia nimeshawahi oh my god. Na wababa wako wote. OMG. Weza. Vijana ni too cute. Niko date on my period. So kama vile witapata. Wako na pia side ya Waislamu peke yao, wajua mila na desturi, singeweza kuingia pale. Hii ni rekodi hii filamu, ila ni kuzuri na pia the view is amazing. Oh my god, the view is breathtaking. Imagine uko pale unainua ukiangalia ile view. Hapa wajipata yani hata usahau kwenda hizo rep 10 waenda more reps. According to my budget, it's enough, but one day alafu kuna gym mara mbili. Kuna gym upstairs na upstairs. Now this is upstairs. Aerobic.
So those guys trading gold. Above these levels, so we're having those relatively equal highs, and we can see there's low, high, lower, low, break above, speed, distance, fair value gap, and also time. So all of these happened inside time. So lately gold has been giving us some good moves, some good setups. So it's like again very heavy. So just take into the low of that first presented fair value gap, and so it's again doing this. So that's good. That's good. So we had this BC, create this low, took out this buy, this high, and now breaking below this low. So can it give us a fair value gap?
This is the affordable gym compared to the first gym and the second one. Nimeambiwa kuna gym zingine 20 to 25 minutes from my place, of which I'll be checking them out once I settle. But for now, we settle with
Yeah, so welcome.
You all already
So
know your girl loves to go for those walks. I love going for walks. It's been 3 months sijaenda for a walk. Na nafili kama nimeenda a lot.
So around this level, two things might occur. So the fact that we took out these relatively equal highs that I highlighted here, we took it out, went below these lows with speed, distance, so leaving us fair value gaps around here. Then again, it's like we are trading back into these levels. So trading into these levels again. So one or two things might happen, might occur. So the fact that we took out these relatively equal highs, except any liquidity that was trailed around that level. So also, if you look at the 830 high and also the high that we formed around 934, so those two levels are relatively equal. So if at all it wants to continue higher, then that's a very good level actually to deliver price. Okay, we can't see the chart. Okay, so what about now? So those guys on YouTube, can you now see it? So around here, because it tapped into that, I wanted to see a fair value gap here, but then it failed. So because it failed, so wait for more information. So let me just check this. Okay, so again now it's doing that. So can it now give me a fair value gap? So if it can give me a fair value gap, break below this low again. So I'm going to have this high low, lower high, tray into that first presented fair value gap again for the second time. Then if it really wants to continue lower, then I'd really love to see something like that. But then for me, I'm not going to do anything until the next 5 minutes. Okay, so the next 5 minutes simply 10:30. So time and then price. So for me this 10:30 is very crucial. Yeah, so those guys on YouTube, like, is the chat now visible? Yeah, so is the chat now visible on YouTube? Just comment. So if you're following from YouTube, is the chat visible? So YouTube simply is my username or my account is simply Lucy Trades. See these Lucy Trades. Yeah, Lucy Trades. Lucy Trades. So what is it doing here? What is it doing here? So I'm not interested in whatever it's doing here, but then what I know is just I'm waiting for this time here. So if by this time, if it really wants to continue higher, then I need to see it trade above this first prevented fair value gap. But then if it can't, then we want to see it continue these lower moves. Okay, so on the 15 minutes, what are we having? So on the 15 minutes we are having this 15 minutes fair value gap. So which classification of a fair value gap is this? So this is simply CB, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. Yeah, so this is the classification of that CB. Classification of that. Yeah. Also on the 5 minutes you're having this CB also, and you can see we've traded into that, and this BC now trying to hold. So there's a tug of war between this and this. Yeah. So right now I know there are those who are long, but then for us, we're simply waiting for that time. So this time normally very crucial to us. Time. Okay, so now it's breaking lower. Yeah, so that's good. That's good. So let's see what happened here. So I was saying that if we can trade below this low and close below it, give us a fair value gap, then I'd really love to see that. And also again, we have this low, this high, low, low, high. So right now we're closing below it, right there. Yeah, right there. And of course, it's going to give us a fair value gap. Of course, it's going to give us a fair value gap. So what I want to say is that fair value gap, because the time that I really wanted, everything that I'm seeing is happening inside this now. So if I really wanted to be aggressive, then could have gone short here and believe that this first fair value gap is going to be left unfilled. So there's going to be a breakaway gap. So I'm just speculating, okay? So I want to see price leave this level unfilled, but then trade into this upper one. Or if it's really weak and it really wants to rally, continue lower, then yeah, how you bro? So if it's really bearish, then should at least leave us this level unfilled and then continue lower. So this is how you spot these setups, okay? This is how you spot them. So I could as well went short here, or maybe just pray and hope that it trades back again into this level. So if it trades into this level, yeah, I might want to see any sign of it not trying to get into this upper fair value, or if it's getting into this upper fair value gap, then the wicks should at least stay below the lower quadrant. Okay, so this lower quadrant, and then continue lower. So I want to see something like that happen. And also, if okay, there's also a scenario that's possible. If it starts accumulating in here, then we want to believe that that's simply time distortion, and anything that has been created here, I want to believe that price is now waiting for time. So which time? 10:50. So 10:50 to 11:10 macro. So that is if it starts to accumulate here, cause it might also be possible, because around where it's trading is this simply the equilibrium price level, the midpoint. So inside the midpoint, such pattern is likely to happen, but then we don't want to trust that such a scenario is going to take place. Yeah, we don't want to trust that such a scenario is going to occur. So what we want to see is it willing to trade into this fair value gap like that, and then leave this one unfilled, or if it's going to trade into this one, then at least trade into the lower quadrants of this fair value gap in form of a CB. So might be tempted to okay, let me just wait. So right now it has traded into the lower fair value gap. See this, with extension into this fair value gap, and it's rejecting. So it's promising, but then what if it really wants to now trade into this upper portion, upper fair value gap, upper CB? So for us, we don't know. Yeah, only time will tell. But if I can get another extension into this level, I might be tempted to go short. But also, if it's really weak, then I want to see this level act as a bearish order block. These two up close candles, yeah, and then drive this price lower. So something like that. So let me check at 3 minutes chart. So we are having this. So 3 minutes you trade into that CB. On the 5 minutes, what are we having? Also we're having this CB on the 5 minutes. So it's really crazy. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to see, I see it has happened. So I wanted to see price trade into this. What is CB? CB. Okay, where have you gotten that from? So if it can trade below this level with speed and give us fair value gap, then I want to trade these two candles, okay, as a bearish order block. But then one more time, it's now giving us that. Into that lower. So guys, if at all we see any sign of price staying into this level for a longer period of time, let's see. Yes, what is it doing? So with it, we can see it's really heavy. So it's really heavy. So same thing. But then you see now with yes, we've traded back into this consequent encroachment. The first presented fair value gap. We trade into the first presented fair value gap, and it had high, low, lower high. And with Nasdaq, we failed trade into that consequent encroachment, and we had this low, high, low, higher high, and then we broke lower. So the fact that this one created this low, high, higher high, So we might believe that it might be willing to now expand into this, or even not. But then because it keeps on doing this, so we might now be forced to wait for more information. Yeah, so I guess YouTube is now back. I mean, I don't see those on YouTube complaining. Okay, so now we're trading into that upper CB. So in as much as I hate to see it trade into that level, so what I want to do is simply wait. Because also on the 5 minutes, we are still having that CB there in the 5 minutes. So the best thing is to wait and wait. Because again, what if, okay, just speculating, what if price trade back into this CB and now it wants to continue higher? Yes, so also that might happen, but then so what remains that we've now traded into this upper fair value gap. So I did say if it trades into this, I want to see price stay below this lower so this could have been where we went short. Can I ask how much is 30,000 Kenya shilling? That is simply $250. $250. Simply $50. So now we've traded into that, and I might try to see if it wants to go lower. Sijaona kitu giza tupo. So like it's acceptable, Keniji. So because I'm trading, I mean before 10:50. So I want my stop to be a little bit higher, because still on the next 5 minutes, in the next 5 minutes, 10:50, I mean 10:50 to 11:10, the next macro. So I was actually updating my studio. So now we've traded below these lows, and price did everything we wanted to see it do. So because it has expanded lower, So my stop now, above upper quadrant. Then with this move, if it can trade below this, I'm going to take some positions off. Once I take some positions off, I'm going to scale my stop loss to break even. So again, remember, what's happening is that we are still waiting for 1050, because during that time, price might decide to do, the market is running on a script. So the algorithm might again decide to seek any level of inefficiency or any liquidity above or below price. So we have to be ready for that. So if during that time we seek this sell side, that's good. So on 5 minutes, really? So on 5 minutes, we're going to, so there's now our bearish fair value gap. Bearish order block, not really bearish order block. We've traded below it. So any run into this level, we need to see it hold price now, continuing lower. On 3 minutes, so we're having that. So right now we've traded below this low. So I did say if we trade below this low, I'm going to take some contracts off and then now scale my stops to break even. So the trade is now risk-free. And let's now see what's the likely, where might it want to reach for. Okay, so we had this push higher into that. So we had this into that first presented fair value gap, and also we have this. So we want to draw our projections. Fib retracement. So let's begin with this. So from that into that, our 2.53% level is simply this. But then watching time, so that level, and using this from this low to this high, from this low to this high. So using this, we're just speculating where it might want to trade back into. So around the 2 level, I'm seeing some new week opening gaps, some old new week opening gaps, and yeah, this 2 or 1.5 might be good. So 1.5 level is simply that one there. So if it can trade back into this level, I might again take out one and then leave the rest for a runner if it really wants to now go lower. So let me just remove that. So I'm now interested in this level. So the bulk of our position has been taken out. So we've really taken out the bulk of it. So let me just remove it. So you guys saw me highlight everything that was happening here. So trade into that low, speed, distance, fair value gap, then time. So time we manipulated back into any level of inefficiency. So we said we want to see if it's staying below the lower quadrant. Okay, then we see it do that. Then we started leaving that level, went short. So the first partial came out below these lows, and right now we want to see if it has the ability to now trade into this level. So again, we are going to take out one contract and then now leave the rest for, leave a runner. So if at all it really wants to trade lower, but then we now have to be careful, because right now we want to start the 950 macro, 950 to 1110 macro. So if it can trade into this I don't know, with this purple trend line, sorry about that. So this purple line, or should I shade it with that purple is still good. So right now we're having these lows here. So from this low to this high, yeah, so I wanted my stop to be around the midpoint, so slightly there, so that's good. So if we can get a runner below this level, so let me remove all those markings. So what you guys need to understand, that we highlighted all of this before it happened, and then you saw us execute. So that tells you something. Yeah, that tells you something. YouTube haionyeshi. So sijui nini mbaya na YouTube, not showing. Okay, so kama ina show, like mnaweza niambia, sijui mbona like itaki kuonyesha. So if we trade below this, so is it now showing? So again, guys, you see everything that we're doing here. So we started all the way during the London session. So in as much as I was interrupted by internet failure during that time, so everything you could have seen me as highlights. So we wanted to see lower prices, because that new week opening up held price. Okay, so we really wanted to see lower prices, but whatever we were demanding, price was not giving us. So we were demanding a certain fair value CB on 1H during London session, but then it failed. It later tried to trade towards it, but then it didn't really hit that level. So that simply tells you that whatever you want to see in price, most of the time price is not going to give it to you. But then direction wise, everything is good. Yeah, so right now we are still seeking lower prices. So again, inside this time now, 1050 to 1110, price might decide to do something. 1050 to 1110, so price might decide again to give us something, and that's something we're still going to use it, and we can still find our entry or frame our setups around that. So I'm just going to take out one, because it's taking too much time, and also taking too much time to get into this level. So it's not like this level is really, hypothetical. It's not like it's really that sure that we are going to hit it, but we were just speculating. Yeah, so our fib levels, we were just speculating that it might hit this, but then it's not a must that it hits it. So that's the reason why we are now taking out that one, and now leaving a runner. So if at all it wants to trade lower, then we now want to just let it do its thing. We want to see it do its own thing. So let's see. So we had these relatively equal highs here, relatively equal highs. So we take it out, then price gives us what? Our first presented fair value gap there. So inside this first presented fair value gap, yeah, that's where we first get our entry. So we were live on TikTok, and then give us this fair value gap. Might as well have, I would have added here, but then I still had some positions remaining, so took the all of it here. Then what were we waiting for? So now time 950. So 950, this was the setup. So 950 setup was that. If you could ride it lower, fine. If you took out something, that could have even been much better. Then protract into this level. What's this level? First presented fair value gap. Then we started studying price. Okay, so we were having this. So we were watching whatever it was doing here. We were watching. So guys, what's this? So there's a basic buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So all of this happening around a key. So merely after taking out this buy side, this high that was created at 949. 949. Then after taking it out, gave us this fair value gap. Then trade into this BC. So it held price. After holding price, we take out this high. So this low, this high, low, higher high. Then we wanted to see a break below and give us a fair value gap. The fact that it failed to give us a fair value gap, so our entries could have happened inside this. Once we took out this low, could have happened here had it given us a fair value gap, but then because it didn't, so we had to wait for more information. So high, low, lower high now, then break below with speed. So it breaks below, but then only takes this low, so we are not interested in doing anything here. So again, we break below this low with speed and distance, fair value gap. See that? Then what happens? That price simply trades back into this level. So which level is that? There's a fair value gap. So it left us how many fair value gaps? 1, 2, 3. So there's simply 3 opportunities to get in. So the first one, I'm not interested. Whatever it's doing here, I'm not interested. There's other one, I might be interested, okay? But then I'm waiting. I'm really waiting. So we trade into that. So there's the first signature that I want to see. Reject and close lower. So that's good. That tells me that these levels are holding. The second one, we trade into it, but then this close. Now I'm interested. But then now I want to see trade into this fair value gap, because we've now traded into this. So I want to see a trade into this upper fair value gap that I wanted to see to act as a breakaway gap, but then now I want to see price stay below the lower quadrants. Lower quadrants. This lower portion. So that happens, and then we start doing that. Then we get our entry, and we have this. Yeah, so that's how you frame your entries. That's how you look at price. Okay, that's how you look at price. So now if we can break below this low, then I'm now going to scale my stop and end the live, and I'm now not going to be interested in doing anything. Clean. Nice one, Ikiru. I hope you caught something today. Yeah, so the way I've explained everything, so it's not like we're only reading, whatever price did. Yeah, so we are framing it before it happens, and as it's happening, we are watching and then we executing. So if at all you can do that, then my friend, you can be unstoppable. In these markets, nothing can really stop you. But then if you have this skill set, let me tell you, you don't need to come to the social media to start shouting that you can do this. Yeah, you don't need to do that. You can simply just have it. And then use it to your own benefit. Okay, you don't need to come to the social media. Start making noise. Just have it, own it, perfect it each and every single day, each and every single month, each and every single year. Because these things, they keep on repeating and it won't stop. So right now, at least I want to pocket something. So this level here, yeah, if you draw this fair value gap, you'll find that my stop now is slightly around that. Okay, slightly below it. But then if at all it's going to trade higher, then it might just take me out, because it's not like I'm really now into. So the bulk of my positions was taken out here and then took out another one. So this one, we're only letting it to go, but then if it might decide to trade back into this level, because we are trading inside 950, 1050, 1110. So we might start seeing that protraction higher or maybe lower. So we don't know. Price will do whatever it wants to do. 10. Yeah, so because I did say this time, so now I don't want to be interested in this market. So whatever happens next, I don't care. And now I want to end this live. Yeah, so if it comes and takes me out, well and good, or I might as well just close it and then go do some other things. Yeah, so it was nice hosting you guys. So let's meet tomorrow. Yeah, so